Welcome to Maths Tuition Hub. In this video, we are going through GCSE histograms questions, which includes drawing histograms, fetching information from histograms, finding median from histograms, and finding interquartile range from histograms. In this question, we have to draw the histogram for the given information. To draw the histogram, we need intervals and then the frequency density. But in the table we have just the intervals and frequency. So we need to work out the frequency density. The formula for frequency density is frequency divided by class width. So we need to work out the class widths for all these intervals. So class widths can be found by upper interval minus lower interval. So 5 minus 0 is 5, 10 minus 5 is 5, 20 minus 10 is 10, 50 minus 20 is 30. And now the frequency density, frequency divided by class width. For the first interval between 0 and 5, 18 divided by 5, that is 3.6. Next interval 23 divided by 5, which is 4.6. Next one 17 divided by 10, 1.7. And next 21 divided by 30 is 0.7. Now let's draw the histogram. So you need to take the interval and then the frequency density. From 0 to 5 interval, and the frequency density is 3.6. So draw the bar from 0 to 5 to 3.6. That's our first bar for the first interval. Next bar is from 5 to 10. Frequency density is 4.6. Draw the bar here. Five to 10, 4.6. The third one is 10 to 20, 1.7. 1.7 on the frequency density side, and 10 to 20 on the interval side. The last one is 20 to 50 to 0.7. That's 20 to 50 to 0.7. Thus the histogram for the given information. In this question, we fetch the information from histogram and use it in calculations when required. 180 runners started a marathon. Some of the runners did not complete it. The histogram represents the times of the runners who completed the marathon. And now how many runners did not complete. So let's find the frequencies from the histogram. So then we will get how many completed the marathon. So to find the frequencies are areas of these bars. So by frequency density times class width will give us frequencies in each bar. Class width is horizontal side and frequency density is on vertical side of these bars. So these are like rectangles. If you find the area of these rectangles, we will get frequency. So for the first bar between 140 and 160, frequency is 20 is a class width and 0.8 is frequency density. So 20 times 0.8 is 16. Okay, let's do the next bar between 160 and 180. Class width is 20 and frequency density is 1.8. So frequency is 20 times 1.8. 36. Frequency is 36 for that bar. The next bar between 180 and 220. Frequency is 40 times 1.2. Is 48. Next one is between 220 and 260. The class width is 40 and the frequency density is 0.7 and the frequency is 40 times 0.7, which is 28. Now the last bar between 260 and 320. 60 is the class width and the frequency density is 0.4. Now the frequency for that bar is 60 times 0.4, which is 24. Now let's write all these frequencies inside the bars. The first one is 16, next 36, 48, 28 and 24. So let's find out how many completed the marathon, the total of these frequencies. Add all these frequencies from each bar. 16, add 36, add 48, add 28, add 24. So which is 152. 152 of them completed the marathon. And we need to work out how many runners did not complete the marathon. So 180 started a marathon, 152 completed. So people who did not complete it are 180 minus 152, which is 28. 28 of them did not complete the marathon. A company makes tubes of toothpaste. The masses of 82 tubes are checked. A histogram is drawn to represent the data. So in this question we have to fetch the information from the histogram to find out the required thing. So the first thing we need to find out the frequencies of these bars. So again the same formula, frequency equals frequency density times class width or class width times frequency density. In the first bar we have frequency density 0.6 and class width is 10. So in that bar the frequencies are 10 times 0.6, which is 6. In the second bar the frequency class width is just the 5, so between 120 and 125, and the frequency density is 4, so between 120 125, in that interval the frequencies are 20. The next interval is from 125 to 130, is the 5 is the class width, and the frequency density is 7.6. The frequencies are 5 times 7.6. So frequency in that bar is 38. In the last bar between 130 and 140, the class width is 10 and frequency density is 1.6. Now the frequency is 10 times 1.6, which is 16. 38 in this bar and 16 in this bar. Now we need to estimate how many of each of these have a mass less than 122. So look at 122 on the histogram. We have 122 in this bar with the frequency is 20 on it, and the class width of this bar is 5, but we only required 2 of the class widths from here. 2 out of 5 and times by total number of frequencies. So we required only 8 frequencies in this bar and then 6 of them from the previous bar. That will be less than 122. So if you add them together, that will be 14. So 14 of the tubes have less than 122 grams in it out of 80. So this is a sample of 80. So 14 out of 80. So now we need to work out of 28,000 how many tubes have the mass less than 122 grams. So 14 out of 80 times 2800, which is 4,900. So 4,900 of the tubes. In this question we will see how to draw missing bars on the histogram. So the bar between 170 and 180 centimeters is missing. There are 74 women in the sample. Complete the histogram. So again we write the frequency formula. Frequency equals class width times frequency density. So between 150 and 155, the frequency is 5 is the class width and frequency density is 2. So the frequency is 10 there. In the next bar between 155 and 165, the class width is 10 and the frequency density is 3 and the frequency is 30. And next between 165 and 170, the class width is 5 and the frequency density is 4 and the frequency is 20 in that bar. If you add all these 3 together, all the frequencies, 10 at 30 at 20 is 60, but there are 74 women in the sample, so 14 of them in the next bar between 170 and 180. So between 170 180, frequency is 14 and class width is 10 for this, and frequency density is 14 over 10, which is 1.4. So let's complete the bar on the histogram. 1.4 till 180. So that's the missing bar in here. On this histogram is A on the x-axis side and frequency density on the y-axis side, and there are conditions here to complete the histogram. There are 30 members with less than 20 age, and 12 members with between 65 and 80, and there are no members over 80. So now we don't have the scale for frequency density. We need to work out the frequency density scale first. So the formula is frequency density equals frequency over class width. So for the first bar, we know from the age is less than 20 or 30 people. So 30 is the frequency divided by class width is 20. That will give us 1.5. So that bar is up to 1.5. And now we fill the scale for each 3 of those grids. We get increased 1.5. So 1.53 and 4.5. And now there are 12 members between 65 and 80. So if you take 65 and 80 bar, class width is 15 and the frequency is 12 for this. And we need to work out the frequency density. Frequency divided by class width, 12 divided by 15, which is 0.8. So let's figure out 0.8 on frequency density side. So let's fill this frequency density scale with all the other numbers now. First one 0.5, it increases 0.5 each line. Okay, now locate 0.8 here, and we need to finish drawing the bar between 65 and 80. Yeah, there are no numbers with greater than 80, so we don't have to draw the bar for that. In this question, we estimate the median. 48 students completed some homework. The histogram shows the information about the times taken. So time is on one side and frequency density on the other side of these bars. So we have to find out the frequencies for each bar. For the first bar, class width is 5 and frequency density is 1.6, which is 8. And in the next bar, class width is 10 and frequency density is 0.8, and that frequency is 8 there. And in the next one, class width is 10 and frequency density is 1.2, the frequency is 12 there. And in the last bar between 25 and 45, the class width is 20 and frequency density is 1 as 20. There are 20 frequencies here. And now to find out the median, the total number of students are 48. We need to find out the half of 48, which is 24th time. We need to find out time in 24th. So in the first two bars, if you add them together, 16. And in the next bar, 24, we need to find out 24th one. So if you take away this 16, 8 add 8, and we get 8 of them in the next bar. So we need 8 out of 12 frequencies in there. 8 out of 12 and times by the class width for that bar is 10. So that is 80 divided by 12. Which is 6.66 recurring, 6.6 recurring. And now in that bar, the starting point in that bar is 15. So 15 minutes is the starting time, and we have to add 6.7 after rounding it to one decimal place. That is 21.7 minutes. So the median is 21.7 minutes. This one is same as previous question, but in this question we are finding the interquartile range. So let's copy frequencies from the previous question. Now we need to find out interquartile range, IQR. The formula for IQR is upper quartile minus lower quartile. So let's find upper quartile and lower quartile. To find the lower quartile, total number of students are 48, and 48 divided by quarter, 48 divided by 4, 12th one. So we need to look at the 12th one here. In the first bar we have 8 and we need 4 more from the second bar. 4 out of 8, there are total number of frequencies are 8 in that bar, and times by class width. Class width is 10. So that is 5. So we need 5 of them in the second bar. The second bar starts from 5 and we need 5 more there. So 5 is the start of the bar, and add 5 more to it and we get 10. So 10 is the lower quartile. And let's find the upper quartile, and total number is 48, and 48 divided by 4 and times 3 quarters. So 36th one. So we need to find out the 36th one. Now 8 plus 8 plus 12 is 28, and we need how many? 36 minus 28. So we need to find out 36th one. That's why 36 minus 28. We need 8 more in the next bar. So 8 out of 20 and times by class width 20 as well. So that comes to 8, and the starting number in that bar is 25. 25 times 25 add 8 is 31. So upper quartile is 31 and lower quartile is 10. Now the interquartile range IQR is 31 minus 10, which is 21. So interquartile range from this histogram is 21. Thanks for watching another video from Maths Tuition Hub. Please subscribe to Maths Tuition Hub.